What's up, you guys? We are officially back again in the Dynasty house. It's your girl, Nia J. I got my beautiful co-host, the beautiful
Pamela, Nicole. What's up, y'all?
What's up, you guys? And this is the Dynasty Queens. Did you guys miss us? Okay. You guys, we got a really special guest in the house today. Can we get a drum roll, please? We have the most beautiful actress that I've seen on BET in a very long time, the beautiful Erica Hubbard.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on your show. I appreciate it, you queen. I love it. Absolutely. And I'm glad it worked out that I was on the show after all this traveling and stuff. You guys got me. You got me in Oregon, but I'm here.
And Pam, she's kind of matching with the Dynasty.
I was going to say.
Okay.
Same
a sister. It's our like little sorority group.
You know.
Erica,
yes.
Please, for the viewers that are not familiar with who you are, give us a little brief background on who you are, where you came from, and how you got your foot into the entertainment industry.
Okay, so I was acting since 8 or 9 years old. My dad got me into the industry. So I'm an actress, producer, director, writer. And I come from Chicago, south side of Chicago, from anybody aware of Chicago, 87th and Stony Island. So I'm from the south side. And I started acting in Chicago, doing theater. I started doing theater and like taking tons of classes on like vocal training, body training, memorization techniques. So when I started doing all of that, I signed with an agency. I did some modeling. And then I started doing commercials. I started doing voiceovers. I started doing small television roles in Chicago. But then a big production came to Chicago that kind of launched my career further. It was called Save the Last Dance, and then Light It Up. And so when those studios came, it was Paramount and 20th Century Fox. I was like, okay, I want to leave Chicago and go to LA. And my parents were like, not yet. So I was like, what else more is there to do once you get your training and, you know, your skill set on a major production? They were like, go to college. So I thank them for saying that to me, because then I started taking a lot of theater courses and I majored in journalism, a communications major. So that's how it all started.
Wow.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So give us a little bit more background, like when you're in Chicago and, you know, your upbringing and everything. What was it like?
The background was rough. I'm from Chicago. So, I mean, everybody knows, like, you know, growing up on the south side of Chicago that, you know, you encounter a lot of problems, you know. So the problem, to say the least, were any problem have growing up in at-risk communities. I come from an at-risk community. So, you know, you deal with a lot of gang violence, you deal with a lot of drugs, you know, prostitutions and stuff like that. So I survived. I got out of it and had a lot of mentors help me, you know, and took the lifestyle that I didn't want for coming out of that environment and created something that I did want for myself. So I think that when you grow up in environments that you don't want to be in or grow up in, I think it's pros and cons, because the pros were, I came from this, but I achieved this. The cons were, I went through a lot. I could write a book. Stay tuned for the book, because a lot of people don't believe it. Like, you don't talk like you're from Chicago. You don't look like you're from Chicago. You don't act like you're from Chicago. But really, literally, people who they, you know, think how we're supposed to act or sound. No, I was in it. I was in the thick of it. So that's kind of my
It's really heavy, but it's really also important. And I like that you're sharing with the viewers that perspective of it, because I'm sure a lot of young people that you were probably surrounded around or grew up with may have taken the wrong path, wrong turn. Yeah. So you kind of briefly mentioned you had some mentors. Who are the people in your life specifically that kept young Erica on track?
I am a church girl. So I had a lot of people in the youth group I was in at church, talk sense into me and kind of keep me level headed on how to stay away from the streets. So that's always been a thing of mine. Like, I can't go too far off the ledge because I might have somebody pulling me back. And I have still to this day, I have a lot of people. I'm praying for you. I'm praying for you, which I love. I love it because I need it. I still a lot. And all the people that have seen me grow up and that are still with me, they're still praying for me and rooting me on and cheering for me. And so the spiritual circle I am a lucky girl because I have a lot of mothers in the churches and like spiritual fathers, like, you got this, da, 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 and according to, scripture. And so it just makes me cope through life better, have a support system around me. And they're always in my ear. They're always sending me some kind of, song to get me through the day or some kind of message to get me through the day or a text message. So just my spiritual support system is strong. It's really, really, really strong.
I love that because I feel like you definitely need a good prayer warrior team. And I feel like it's both the spiritual aspect of it, but also you're hearing them telling you the same thing, like, I'm praying for you. Yes. You got this. So it's those little reminders that kind of help push yourself physically, but also we can't do without his strength. So it's like, that's beautiful that you have that. A lot of people do not, so coming from the South Side of Chicago, you have that support system to kind of help, push you through. So I love that for her.
Thank you. It's just, rest in peace. My mom passed away in November, and she was a pastor. So she stayed grounded in the church. And at 13, I was in the church. And I didn't know at that age how important that was, a 13-year-old. And it's like, amen. Okay, church is over. But then growing up, becoming older, I was like, wait a minute. This is like rules to help me, live a good life. So I started taking it more serious. And so I just thank my mom, rest in peace, Diane Hubbard. She set the foundation for me.
I love that.
Wow.
I love that so much. Yeah. Now, speaking of like setting foundations, like in your life and everything, you've played multiple roles as an actress and everything. What would you say would be that most profound role that really just resonated with you in your everyday life? What character?
The most profound role? I can't say it's just one role because I've played so many roles that are so different. Mm-hmm. So a lot of them were profound to me because they're different characters, they're different people. And I just appreciate the fact that these producers, these writers, they just keep casting me for different projects and different roles because, oh my God. Okay. So, a pause, because the work never gets boring to me. It's always something different for the audience to see, and I appreciate that. So people, not one profound role, it's many profound roles. I've played everything you can think of. The wife, I mean, everything, the nerd, the prostitute, the lesbian girl, the quirky girl, the funny girl, the serious girl. With me going both in the drama realm, in the comedy realm, it just keeps it fresh. I just got cast on another project that I'm getting ready to shoot. I just finished one in California. That was a thriller. And I like that one because I got to do my own stunts. I wish I could show y'all my bruises. I got a lot of bruises on me. But I was in it. I was jumping over couches, jumping on the floor, and just rolling around. And I was just like, wow, this is the most work I've ever done. Like, I've done stunts. On a TV show, I've done stunts, but it wasn't like this. This one's going to be good. So as soon as I wrapped that, I'm like, okay, I'm off to St. Martin. And then I got a phone call to do another film. And I'm just like, okay, what is this one? This one's a church girl. So, so all the roles to me are important to me and they're impactful. And I hope the audience just keeps like being engaged with the work that I do And because I'm putting my heart into it, I'm putting a lot of energy into it, and I'm putting a lot of emotional work is involved. I want to say that because I see a lot of people get on set and I'm like, are you in it? Are you passionate? Let's go.
Yeah.
And so I really want to work with people who are really passionate about this. Blood, sweat, tears. Like, let's go. Lay it all on the
Right.
So hopefully my goal, you guys know where I'm going with this. My goal is to, I want to work with a lot of award-winning thespians eventually.
Yeah.
That's why I'm putting work with these characters and these emotions and all this stuff. So I'm preparing myself so when it's time, I can have the depth there.
Right. Exactly. Because that's the kind of stuff that makes legends. What do they say? The kind of stuff that legends are born of, the whole thing. Now, Pam knows how I like to do. I love to take it back a little bit. So I know that you went to school and you majored in broadcast journalism, which was also my major. And then I was able to transition to entertainment as well. But yeah. So I know that you've always had a love. You said, your dad kind of got you into acting and so on and so forth. So how did you, because I know that you had a pretty successful journalism career before you got into acting. Can you please cover that part of Erica's story with us? And then let's talk about how you kind of coasted from the network stuff into acting.
Okay. Yeah, most definitely. My major was journalism, but before I majored in journalism, I just think I had a lot of on-camera experience, which the journalism part helps because I went into field reporting and then I went into anchoring. And so I didn't know what I wanted to do. So I had like a double major almost, so to speak, because I didn't know if I wanted to be a field reporter, a news desk anchor, or if I wanted to be a print journalist. And so I was taking all these classes, but lo and behold, when I was in school, I ended up auditioning for a show called Up and Running, and I ended up hosting a show. So that kind of took my career into that area, and it was fun. It was fun. For 4 years, I went all around the world, like interviewing people from like hockey players to tight rope walkers, or it was just I was everywhere from athletes, interviewing athletes to interviewing people who are landscapers. So it was cool.
Right.
It was amazing. But with that on camera experience, I knew my love was in the performing arts and portraying characters, because I caught the bug of the thespian bug when I was 8, 9 years old when I did my first theater play. So after I graduated from Columbia College, Chicago, shout out to Sheldon Patinkin, who helped train me on stage. Because, I also, with all the other professors, with the theater professors, they, I think, gave me the tools that I needed to go to California and work. And so when I landed in California, I didn't really have a waiting period because I already had the credits from being in Chicago, the union credit in Chicago. Mm-hmm. And then also I already had the training from being on stage. So the minute I landed in LA, which most people don't do, I signed up for a theater troupe. I signed up for two theater troupes. So I'm really a theater geek. And one of them, here's the thing. I'm going to tell you guys this. You heard it here first. So most people think that theater is you're going to get on stage, you're going to do Broadway, you're going to say, okay, that's fine and dandy. But they also have another way to train theater, which I think is so important. And I think that right there gives you the confidence and the skill set. So it's like kind of like an in the round theater. So I would go to schools and community centers, and we would do theater for the students, but they would circle you. So you would get that instant feedback. With a boo or yay or so you knew exactly how to kind of control the audience. And I think with that technique, if you have that and you take that with you on a television or film set, you can kind of know how to in your head kind of control the dialogue or the feedback, because like, I do this will resonate with the audience more, because in Broadway or off Broadway. Sometimes you can't have people. A lot of people are quiet, and you get the feedback at the end with a big round of applause and the standing ovations. But in the theater, it's instant. It's instant. They're right there. You're working the whole circle. So I think that gives you more of a confidence to do what you need to do to entertain.
Yeah, and I was going to mention too, we know that probably, because I know eventually you got onto doing like studio audiences for TV series and stuff, but I'm sure that children in community centers and places like that are going to be more brutally honest than even a live studio audience of adults, because we know kids will not hold back.
Yes.
So I'm sure that was great. So you were ready to go. You were like, look, I am classically trained. Okay, look, I'm ready to roll. I know how to deal with the little, the boo-hoo-hoos and ha-has. I know how to, control the audience. So you were ready to go.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was ready. And then also, let me just say this. Books are so important to me. So, all these books that they have out here, I dived into them and read a lot about, different, methods and techniques. So to me, I could tell when people are using one technique or if they're using two. But it's important, to learn the techniques. And they have some awesome books out here to get your skill set going.
You guys hear that? If you want to become a well-renowned actress, you have to take the game seriously, okay?
Yeah.
Beautiful, become a true thespian. You have to, do plays, do the whole live audience before you can transition. It's steps to this stuff, right, Erica? Let them know. Steps.
Yes. And then, the best thing is if you want to become something great, hang around the great. So, circle of friends, where I want to go, we're always in each other's ears, but it's levels, because some people, it's just some people, they play around, who plays, and then who wants to be in the game.
Yeah.
So, it helps the camaraderie and your circle. Your circle is always important, though, whatever you want to do in life.
Absolutely. What's up, you guys? Your girl Nia J with Dynasty Queens, and we're back again. Are y'all really ready to elevate your handbag game? Well, guess what? We got some super dope Louis Vuitton handbags on sale. All you have to do is click on the handbag you like in the description below and proceed with that beautiful bag straight to checkout. Oh, yeah. Don't forget to tell them Nia J sent you. Dynasty Queen's going to have you looking right this summer. That's right.
And like we always talk about that, me and Nia always talk about that, Erica, because it's like if we feel like we haven't learned something from our circle of people, you got to
yes,
the one that knows everything in the circle, because where am I going to level up to? Like, I want to learn. I want to have mentors. I want to see where I need to go next.
Exactly.
Absolutely. You're only as good as the company you keep.
Yes.
Period.
Can't agree. I cannot agree more.
Wow.
So if there's anybody that's watching right now, and you know that you're the only one in your circle that actually has something going for yourself, and the rest of the people you can tell are waiting for you to make a come up and kind of leech off with you, here is your forewarning. You need to ditch the homies and elevate. There's so many people that share common interests and likes and everything. Wouldn't you agree, Erica?
I agree wholeheartedly. That's why I run a foundation called the Erica Hubbard Foundation. It's a nonprofit. So I created the 501c3 to help mentor at-risk youth in neighborhoods, because sometimes they're around people who are not so nice. Right. So they need to be around people, encourage them, that inspire them, that empower them to be great and to live a life of fullness. And so you need that, because in one ear they have something where it's like, do this and do that, and it may not be the right path to take. So I go into these communities and I say, no, do this and do that, and then you'll succeed. And keep your mind in the right place so you can't come up out of your situation. And it's so important. And then also with the Erica Hubbard Foundation, I give out scholarships as well to people in financial hardship. So I believe you have to give back to the community and, reach people that need help, especially in their environments. So it's
you're
important.
Like full circle, because you went from that and you're like, you know what? let me give back. You've gotten to where you are now, and it's like, I need to give back to the community. And that's a beautiful thing when you can always come back and it's full circle. So I appreciate you doing that for our youth, because it's rough, girl.
Yes.
It's rough out there for kids.
Because some people, when they go to Hollywood, they just lose touch of what was, of reality.
Oh, I run into a lot of that. It's at an all-time high. I'm like, oh, yeah. So you have to remain grounded and humble. Yeah. I think as a because my dad always says don't get too full of yourself. He's from Chicago. Humility is better. It's just better to walk in being humble and kind. It's life's too short. I've seen people pass. My sister passed away at a very young age. My uncle passed away. My mom passed away. And then when people are passing away, they always say what they should have done and what they wish they could do. And I'm just like, whoa. So the people on earth is like, I'm focused on this, I'm focused on that. But when you're transitioning, it's like certain things that matter is just like, wow. So I try to do the things that they said that, mattered to them at the end. I'm trying to do it now.
No regrets. You have to live your life, stay on the path that you started off.
People,
man, it's so important. Erica, we have to bring up some of these amazing productions that you've been associated with. So let's talk about, okay, we know that you got into the acting situation. You were in the journalism. Everything's going great. You were doing plays and theater. How did you get your big break into film? Like, what was your first major role? Did you have to audition, or were you already like, hey, this girl is good to go? And how did the process go with like the production, the director?
No, everything that I've gotten early on in my career, I auditioned for 2, 3, 4 times. I went in front of network producers. So it's only now that people call me and they give me offers. But I mean, it's 30 years, into the game. So
you paid
oh my gosh, paid my dues like a lot, because I've been in sessions where they tested you and they brought you in 3 and 4 and 5, 6 times. I've been through that. So my very first break, to answer your question, my very first break was, I'm not sure. I think I did Light It Up before I did Save the Last Dance. They were kind of together. So one was Paramount Pictures, and the other one was 20th Century Fox. But after that, I did the college thing, went straight to LA, and I booked Lionsgate. I booked Akeelah and the Bee. And then right after that, before that, gosh darn it, was that a Cinderella story. I did Warner Brothers. So they all kind of like back to back. I don't know which one first, but they were all like this, back to back to back to back. Man. So I want to just say, instead of saying which one helped me get in the door, all of them did, because all the characters are so different. A Cinderella story is totally different from Akeelah and the Bee character. So I think it gave people room to say, oh, she could play this or she could do this. And that created more opportunities.
And Pam, I like how she appreciates like all of the roles. She doesn't downplay, because I know you asked her earlier, what was that pivotal role? She's like, no, all the movies, all the TV, all of it helped make who you are as a human and as an actress. I'm assuming that all comes together. Yeah. So I'm understanding it's more of a spiritual and it's like the whole thing, and it has to all flow and connect in order for it to make sense. So the fact that you were able to just get into the door like that with a lot of people, but you had all that technical background. So I'm sure it's because you were killing it on every audition that you had to go on, girl. There's no other, which is amazing.
I was going to say too, Nia, sometimes we see certain actors, actresses, like, for example, Samuel L. Jackson. He has those villain roles. When you see Samuel L. Jackson, he's going to probably play like you can pretty much know he's going to play like an Avenger villain or something like that. love that you have so much versatility to your repertoire. You know what I mean? Like you can do it all. And it's not just, this is Erica Hubbard and she's known for, she usually plays this role. You can do it all. So I really love that you have that versatility to you.
You're not typecast like a lot of the Hollywood girls are. So she's right. That's very unique about you. So you know it. So you don't have to remind her. She knows it, but she's
Thank you. I just wrapped the family business spinoff, New Orleans, and so I'm appreciative to the whole production company for that opportunity, because they gave me something totally different. They had accent. I had to do a New Orleans accent, and I played a character named Ernestine, and she's a reader, a future. She reads your future for you. That's gonna be fun. So. I'm appreciative to all the people that I worked with. I mean, shout out to Pooch Hall, Yvette Nicole Brown, Orlando Jones, Brandon T. Jackson. It's just an amazing cast. So I'm in awe of the fact that I got to play such a character who's... she's intriguing, very intriguing.
You're to her, I'm assuming. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That sounds very interesting.
Oh, it's a lot of depth in the role. So I'm so, you guys see it. Enjoy the journey, enjoy the ride, because she's everywhere with that character. So shout out to BT family for that opportunity and Tridestin.
I did have a question for you, Erica. So, I'm going to start with female and then male. Who is, you already know where I'm going. Who's your favorite female actress of all time and why? And same question for male.
Let me start with the males first.
Okay.
The people who I want to work with hint, hint, if they see this. I'm waiting for the opportunity to work with Michael B. Jordan. I was up for a role. They maybe auditioned 2 or 3 times for this role. I'm not going to say what film it was, but I'm waiting for the opportunity again. I know I'm ready for that opportunity. I think he's talented. He's brilliant in his pursuit of being a director and an actor at the same time. So I'm just waiting for that opportunity. So Michael B. Jordan, Don Cheadle, I think that man is phenomenal at how he delves into his characters.
Yeah.
And I would love that. So, okay, keep it short because I have I can say 5 of them, but I'll say most definitely Denzel. And wait, one more. Let me just say 5. Okay, Jeffrey Wright. He was magnificent in his last film. Oh my gosh. I watched that and it was so good. So, okay, Don Cheadle, Michael B. Jordan, Denzel Washington, Jeffrey Wright, and then the 5th would be I would say like a Bradley Cooper. If he comes, he's really good.
Yeah.
He how he carries films, and he's just a presence to be reckoned with, a force to be reckoned with, and a presence. All of that in one. He's a scene stealer. He's a scene stealer, so it was definitely him. So women, going to the women. Of course, I'm going to go in and say Viola Davis. Angela Bassett again, because when I saw her work on Akeelah and the Bee, I was like, I love her. Angela Bassett, Viola Davis, Glenn Close. I like Susan Sarandon and like Hilary Swank. Okay, so I said 1, 2, 3, 4. The last one would be Regina King.
I like the whole list. Like, I love how she's mixing, all race actors, actresses, like, no specification. Like, hey, I like you because this is what you offer. So very genuine answers, not, the off the rip stuff that people would normally say.
Exactly.
So I appreciate that.
You said she was inspired. All I could think of was Stepmom. That's probably one of the
Yes.
great movies that she was in.
Yeah.
Oh, tears.
That movie is so sad.
Oh my God.
See, those classics, they just resonate with you. Oh my gosh. And they give you a certain feeling,
Right.
like that's what I want to keep doing work like that. When you think about a project and these people, you're like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
If you're not giving me that.
Yes.
Exactly.
And another old movie I was actually talking to a friend about yesterday that I just, you forget about how good some of these older movies. Jack. Do y'all remember Jack with Robin Williams and Jennifer Lopez?
Oh, okay. I need like a quick rundown of the plot.
So when he was like growing up, he was an adult man with a child mind, and Jennifer Lopez was his teacher and mentor.
I remember that.
Like in the 90s. It was such a good movie. I'm like, oh man. But that was another good actor too that was gone way too soon.
I'm glad you brought that up. Erica, can you please explain how important mental health is for people that choose the career path of going into entertainment, whether it be acting or whatever? How important, because we lost someone like Robin Williams, to suicide, due to depression, stuff like that. So what are some things or tips that you would give to someone that just feels so overwhelmed? They're new to the industry. Maybe they moved to LA and got an apartment that they really couldn't afford, just thinking they're going to just make it on their first audition. How do you encourage them to stay with it mentally, and some coping tactics?
Well, I believe in life coaches. Life coaches help. So, if you don't have a best friend and to talk to, and sometimes the best friends don't want to listen, or a sister or mom or dad, life coaches most definitely that's there, and they help you through your journey, in life. And so I just believe, everybody needs someone to talk to. So, getting life coaches help. I feel like I want to be honest. Who your significant other helps. Let me just say that too. Pillow talk helps. So whoever you lay your head down, you got to be receptive to what's going on in your life and be your cheerleader. Let me, in all honesty, who are you having pillow talk with? That right there can make or break you. So some people don't have the right pillow talk with the person. They be like, not me. Not me. So I'll show you the door. I'll show you the door. So I have the best significant partner ever. And I'm very happy.
Look, that smile from ear to ear. I love it. Yeah, that's really important. And I'm really glad that you are bringing that up too, because a lot of people don't realize that negative energy and negative vibes for the people that you're especially sharing an intimate space or setting with can transpire. And I'm sure for someone who is acting and on set and they have to, be into their role, stuff like that can be distracting. But I'm also sure that there are times when you can bring up, really bad thoughts about whatever tragedy or pain and pour it into a role where you have to, cry on cue, stuff like that. Has anything like that happened to you, Erica, where you're like, I have to think of something just like
on the spot?
On the spot. You have to cry on cue.
Oh, this last film I did, The Assistant 2, I cried on cue. How many scenes? 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 scenes. Yeah. So, and it was, okay, you ready? Oh, action! I'm like, So, but I did it. And I think the reason why I was able to do it back to back to back to back to back, every take like that for 4 or 5 scenes is because of Lincoln Heights. Lincoln Heights are still airing on Hulu. Every single scene with Charles and crying and all that stuff. So I think that helped me get to where I'm at today in crying on cue. But yeah, it's a real thing. I don't use those eye drops. I don't smell onions. I don't do all that. And to each his own.
Right.
It's to each his own. Some people say, I've heard some acting coaches say, well, you don't have to do that. You don't have to, you can just fake it. And I don't believe in faking anything, because if it's not real to you, how can it be real to the person that's watching it? I think really emotionally, you have to build up that strength, and you could do it on your off time, so when it's time for them to say, action, we need you to cry on cue, you can get there. And there's books that help people with that technique on being on cue with stuff. Also, it's not just even crying on cue, it's being angry on cue, or being genuinely happy on cue and making somebody laugh. But I think just preparation, is important, before you get on set.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I do have a question for you. I know we were talking about your nonprofit and everything. Can you just tell us a little bit about your Lifetime Achievement Award that you received from Mr. President Biden?
Thank you.
What that was about?
Yeah. Well, I'm elated that they honored me in such a way for my volunteer service. So that comes from my philanthropy work and giving back to the community. So I'm a humanitarian at heart, and so they acknowledged that. And I just want to say I'm so appreciative to Harvest Christian University and receiving my honorary doctorate through their higher institution. So I most definitely, I am I'm grateful. I'm so grateful and thankful that people are just acknowledging me in that aspect.
Wow.
She's so well-rounded, Nia. Like, you can just feel like she just has a caring soul, caring heart. Like, I love that so much.
And she's very accomplished. So, double-edged sword. Gotta be. I love it. Man, Erica, so we know you have that. So the BET series you just did, when is that air?
It's airing this fall. So it's coming out. We just wrapped like a month ago. So we were in New Orleans. We were in New Orleans. No, we were in we were in New Orleans. We were in LA. We were filming for months. So we just wrapped. So it's going to air fall TV season.
Okay, cool.
After that.
Yeah. Did you eat any of that good food in New Orleans?
My gosh, I did. Yes, I did. Oh my gosh. But I grew up like that. My grandmother, that's where my roots are from. They're from New Orleans.
Mine too. Not New Orleans, but I had to in Louisiana.
I grew up on eating some good gumbo and gumbo and jambalaya. Well, my grandma makes goulash, all that stuff. So rest in peace, Eunice. I was happy to be back.
Yes. Creole cuisines. I love it.
Yes.
Man, we can go on and on about that. Goodness gracious.
So I know we were talking about books and like how much you really like books and everything. I know that you have a book as well. Do you want to tell us a little bit about it?
Sure. I wrote 2 children's books. Yeah, I love literacy, and I think it's so important. It's important, you have to read to all the parents out there, to your kids, and they have to read too. I think by 3rd or 4th grade, if they're fluent in reading and you read to them, they excel in life, period. So, as a mom, I'm heavy on literacy. And so my kids are so well spoken. Sometimes they speak better than me. I'm like, hey, wow, I did that. So the children's book, I have the 2 children's book. And then also for the adults. And you were talking about mental health and self-awareness earlier. In the life coach thing. So I wrote a book, a self-help book that's coming out as an ebook. And I'm going to have that come out when the TV series airs. I'm going to start, going around talking about the TV series, but then also mental health is so important in your self-awareness and your coping mechanisms. So that book's coming out this fall. And I just want everybody to be well, and get through this life. We're all trying to get through this life. As you know, the famous quote says, we're all walking each other home, to show each other grace with each other, because you never know what people are dealing with. So this book right here will help different techniques on how to cope through life. And I took a class, a Yale University course on the science of wellness, and it was a hard course, but I was so happy that I finished this course and passed it, because it helped mental health. And it's when you get this book, it gives you all kind of exercises and techniques and everything to get through life. And it's a feel-good book. And it's like you could journal. And it's a daily. It's like checking in with yourself daily. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, just so many exciting things that you got coming up, Erica. I mean, I just really want the viewers to just take some time to just listen to this woman's story. She came from what's supposed to be the other side of the track. She had a great support system around her. She was able to flourish. And because of that, she's able to give back to the community. So those are the type of women that we love to, forecast here on our platform. It's not just about, accolades in film and television. You have those notches on your belt, but the other part of it makes the whole story so much more worthy because of everything that you are about. So I respect you.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming on our show today.
Well, thank you for having me. I loved it. Of it.
Where can our viewers get in contact, connect with you, keep up with you, Erica? What are your handles on socials?
My handle on Instagram is one Erica Hubbard. So just the number one Erica Hubbard. On Facebook, it's just Erica Hubbard. On Threads, it's just Erica Hubbard. And on Twitter, formerly known as Twitter X, it's I think it's just Erica Hubbard. So just keep supporting me, and I appreciate everybody's love, support, and thank you for just having my back. You too, and everybody on the show. I appreciate the love and the support.
We have to praise our queens, Dynasty Queens, we have to do our job. You know what I'm saying? So it's part of it. Now, all of our viewers, please like, subscribe, comment about this episode and any others that you missed out on. Thanks again for watching. Pam, go ahead and take us out.
Yeah, it was an absolute pleasure, Erica. We're looking forward to everything you have coming up. Once again, thank y'all for tuning in. I am Pamela Nicole, and I've got my beautiful best friend,
Mia J.
And you are tuned into Dynasty Queens.